Long COVID has long been a problem that has not gotten enough attention throughout the COVID-19 pandemic. And now researchers are longing to better understand long Vax syndrome, a potential rare condition in which people's immune systems may be overreacting to the COVID-19 vaccine. It's being called long Vax, not because they've gotten vaccinated with a particularly long needle, but because the symptoms have resembled long COVID. This has included headaches, major fatigue, blood pressure issues and abnormal heart rates that have lasted days, weeks and potentially even longer. The long and short it, though, is that the number of reported and confirmed long Vax cases have still been far fewer than the number of reported and confirmed long COVID cases so far. Nevertheless, any potential real side effect of COVID-19 deserves a long, hard look by real scientists who really understand this area. It's been tough to study this syndrome in large part because the number of reported cases has been so low to date and there hasn't exactly been an abundance of funding and support for such work. A preprint posted on medRxiv back on May 17, 2022, did describe what happened to 23 patients who had reported seemingly nerve-related symptoms that began within a month of getting vaccinated against COVID-19. The patients ranged in age from 27 to 71 years, with the median age being 40 years. All but 2 were women. None of them had any evidence of previous neurological illnesses. However, after getting vaccinated, all 23 experienced funny sensations, funny as in pins and needles and not ha-ha funny, that were quite severe on their faces or limbs. Nearly 2/3, 61%, had experienced POTS, as well as heat intolerance and irregular heartbeats. Now, in this case, POTS doesn't refer to the cookware, as most people have experienced cookware at some point. Instead, POTS here stands for postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome. This is a medicalese way of saying abnormal drops in blood pressure and lightheadedness, hence the word orthostatic, and increases in your heart rate, hence the word tachycardia. When going from, you go from a lying position, meaning what you might do on a bed rather than what some politicians do a lot, to a standing one, hence the word postural. Testing of 12 of these patients confirmed the presence of POTS in 6 of them. At the same time, the research team found that 7 of the patients actually had reduced sweat production in their limbs. So what is the possible connection between POTS and not being able to sweat as much? Well, you could say the nerve of such findings. The research team, led by Farinaz Safavi, MD, Ph.D. and Avindra Nath, MD, from the National Institute of Neurological Disorders and Stroke, decided to put some skin in the game, so to speak, and take samples of skin from the lower legs of 16 of these patients.